I won't lie. When I saw the set of replays, I genuinely thought this was Hero versus Zest. Because they were both, there was a PvP barcode and it was the same round of the tournament. I just didn't realize it was Jieshi versus Trap until just now, so... Going into this, let's see what happens as we have to the top left-hand side, the purple Protoss player. This is Trap. Going up against the blue Protoss player, to the lower right-hand side, Jieshi. So, PvP here, this was from the round of 32, I believe, in the competition. So, looking to see how this PvP goes and what these players are going to bring in. Obviously, Trap is a name you guys are probably somewhat familiar with from Jin Green Wings. He's a very popular, you know, not super popular, maybe not kind of like one of the Protoss gods like Classic and Stats, Zest, Hero, for example. But he's one of the guys that is definitely up there and can always bring a challenge. Jieshi is a Chinese Protoss player. And he has always been... I feel like whenever I see Chinese players playing in events, Yishi's always one of them. He's never really had those results, which has been like amazing, like wow. I think he did very well in the Limo League very recently, but other than that, again, you know, he's one of the players that we just know is kind of like a Chinese Protoss, and we don't really know so much about him. So, set up into this and looking to see what will happen. A couple of gates coming down as Cybernetics core will begin to build. And we get this going up here on Catalyst for map number 1 of this series. So, map 1 of the series, and we do just see, again, Cybercore coming down on each side, the double gateway, as we expected to be in the PvP. And we are just going to be seeing probes just scouting in these early stages from each player. How's everyone doing in the chat then today, guys? What's up? How's everyone feeling? Everyone had a good start to the week. What day is it today? Wednesday? Wow, it's not even the start of the week anymore. It's like middle of the week. Is everyone having a good middle of the week, guys? Hope so. Hope you guys are having some fun. And, yeah. Getting set to go into this PvP. See what's kind of happening here. As you see, the Stargate is currently on the way up from Trap on the upper side. And it is actually from Jieshi as well, a Stargate too. So Stargate coming in from both players here. As we are going to see a couple of Stalkers from Trap just moving out onto the map. I just saw that stage where you can start being just a little bit aggressive. So, you're going to see one probe already picked off to the side. This probe's going to get back home. So it's Trap that lost a worker. And Jieshi gets to bring his home. That's the only difference between them. Otherwise, they're now both making 2 adepts. And, yeah, very similar game so far. As it looks like both will expand. I mean, wow. Seems to be a very just standard setup for the PvP here to get things going. As we do see these couple of adepts from Trap still coming out through the center of the map now. And we'll be continuing downwards to see what else will happen. A couple of Stalkers actually going to be attacked here initially by Jieshi because of that little bit of a line of sight blocker. One Stalker goes down already, and well, Adepts are going to shade to try and take down another one of those Stalkers. And that Stalker does try and turn around, but he will get taken down. But it's been a Stalker and Adept going down for Jieshi, and he's definitely going to lose this last Adept as well. I mean, actually, if the Adept shade now, yeah, he is going to get both the shots he needs. So that Adept falls. And well, again, initially this was an Oracle apiece from both players. Now a Phoenix on the way from Trap to kind of deal with the Oracle play from his opponent. We'll see if this turns into a Phoenix versus Phoenix war, which sometimes that Stargate on Stargate style does do. Well, we'll see if, obviously, maybe Jieshi, already being behind a Phoenix, may decide not to go for that at all, as the first Oracle's looked all the way around. It's going to hit this main base mineral line. Jishi's going to take some losses here. He has absolutely nothing in preparation to deal with this one Stalker. That's going to be so slow dealing with this. Whoops in some more Stalkers as well. His own Oracle shows up, but I mean, there's a shield battery that can help out. There's a Phoenix. Trap's a little bit slow to respond, but again, eventually the shield battery comes in. That saves so many of these workers. This Oracle gets out alive with 10 kills. While this Oracle gets killed off with, what, 5 kills? 4 even, because he killed Probe out on the map. So, big differences here between the effectiveness of the initial Oracles. And this Oracle can turn back around, come back in. The second Oracle of Jieshi, well, that was on the map somewhere. It's starting to head up towards the top side now. The Stalker does poke that away. There's a cancel on the tech structure here. Looks as though Jieshi decides just to go into more Phoenix and to play the Phoenix War, but he's going to be playing the Phoenix War with such a disadvantage. Not only is he behind on economy, but he's also already behind by about a Phoenix, maybe even 2 at certain points. And because of the economy difference, Trap is going to take a second Stargate much sooner. And by taking a second Stargate much sooner, it's just going to amplify the issue, which is how far behind Jieshi will fall due to the number of Phoenix on the map. So, Not really looking great at all here for Jieshi just yet, as Trap is going to be coming down to the south side. And those couple of Phoenix heading in towards the main base, try and have a little bit of a look to see what they can get up to. A couple of Stalkers here turning around, and we are going to see one of these Phoenix taking some shots. Well, I mean, obviously with the Phoenix, or the Stalkers hopping out, does change things up, but the position of these Phoenix here is really good to maybe turn this fight around. An extra Phoenix shows up at the last moment. It's a bit of a technical fight. The positioning of all of those Phoenix was very interesting, what it was able to achieve. As we are going to see another Phoenix here of Trap just showing up. I'm going to be coming along to pick up a couple of those adepts. One adept down and now a second. And we are just going to be seeing still just stasis ward getting placed once again. Shield battery heals up another one of those Phoenix here. And we do just have the again, another couple of Phoenix continue to come out right now. Another pylon will be placed as well. The Stargate coming down off to the right-hand side. And we are going to be seeing these couple of adepts from Trap continuing down the left just to see where he can get to. Alright, so at this sort of stage, we're just sort of waiting to see what's next, but it really is all about Trap, I feel, at this point. I mean, the Phoenix count is just becoming really quite an issue, right? I mean, 8 Phoenix against 5. It's just already, I mean, if you win the Phoenix war, then you kind of lift up after that, and while these adepts get lifted up, and the Phoenix, they are going to be ready to start helping to defend. If there's shield battery, you can maybe look to help out. He's going to get a few probe kills, and obviously that just amplifies again. It sort of just builds on the lack of economy that was already there for Jieshi earlier. So that's going to be increased a little bit now. As you can see, the Stalker comes in and gets picked off. Shield battery is there, but it's healing up a Stalker, which means the Phoenix are kind of left alone to their own devices in the skies, picking off the other Phoenix as they wish. And in the end, it's now 4 Phoenix against 2, 3 Stalkers against 3. And another couple of Phoenix showing up, that really starts to make a difference here. Again, you take down the Phoenix, then you can lift up the other units on the ground, and then you just don't really have a fighting force as Jieshi, who, well, probe over here is obviously going to get found and picked off. The pylon as well is obviously going to get taken down, and that's just something else that Jieshi has to worry about here. A supply block in the next few moments as 2 more Stalkers show up from Trap. Still looking to make this happen. The Phoenix are going to lift up 1 Stalker to begin with, now 2. Actually cancels that and drops, knowing that he just needs to focus on the Phoenix. Winning the Phoenix fight here is so much more important. He can win the ground fight afterwards. And Trap is just going to burst on through this natural expansion. Those Phoenix keep on falling, and this is going to be just, again, the last few Stalkers continue to go down, and that will be a GG. Trap takes game 1 of this best of 3 PvP series. I don't think I actually can, unfortunately, as said. Alright, well, let's do this to the bottom left-hand side. Our purple Protoss player is Trap. Going up against the blue Protoss to the top right-hand side of the map, Jieshi. Jieshi. I always feel like Yishi's name is one with a lot of kind of weird ways to say it. Like, you know, just out of, you know, pure stupidity of myself, you know, I can say it in like a few funny ways. I don't know. Anyways, getting set up here for our next game, of course, more PvP action. And for the first 2 minutes, we're probably expecting to see pretty much the exact same thing as before. There's no real reason for it to change. There's no real reason for it to be a little bit different or anything like that. Just 2 gates, double gas, and looking towards some tech structures. So we'll see what's going to happen there. No, why can't I do the show match? Just because I actually have to be up a little bit early tomorrow, so I don't want to be casting until late, because I've got a couple of extra things to do. And I just realized that I should probably get those done. What presents did I bring from Switzerland? I brought you guys StarCraft. I actually acquired these replays while in Switzerland and brought them back home with me on my laptop. And here we are. So that is my presents for you guys from Switzerland. Yeah, I could have brought you guys some chocolate and stuff, but I just thought, you know what, who wants chocolate in this day and age? Nobody, right? Everyone would rather have StarCraft. That's my personal opinion. 2 gateways and a cybernetics core coming up right here, and I'm just going to be setting up into this. Probe Trap comes in, starts to nibble away at this little bit of a fight, and you see the second probe kind of coming in as well. You can see what's going on. Just trying to, you know, fight back. She will scout across the map as well here. So, again, Trap want to open this best of 3 series. Definitely our favorite player. And this is, of course, round of 32 at the moment. We'll try and keep you guys somewhat up to date as to what's going on, you know, what going on in terms of which match is which, you know, where we are in the tournament. I know it's a bit awkward to kind of follow, but I think later on when we can say, like, you know, a bit more completely, these are the semi-finals, then obviously it's a little bit simple. We do see a probe gets picked off right away, and so probe going down. Obviously that scout is no longer there, although he does kind of have this pylon, which kind of blocks the wall off, I guess, if he wants to keep it. See a Twilight Council coming in right now from Jieshi, who's trying to also build his own pylon in the back of this base. He will cancel that. So he has seen the Twilight Council, which will be cancelled into a Stargate. Jieshi on the other side of things hasn't seen any sort of information. So he doesn't know that it is a Stargate of his opponent. That's actually interesting. Trap actually has to pull his Stalkers back here because this pylon, he actually can't get a probe to the low ground to expand because he actually doesn't have a probe on the map and because this pylon is blocking. So that's actually a little bit of an annoyance. This actually did a lot more than I thought this single pylon was going to end up doing. So that's somewhat amusing to watch, I suppose. Nexus will be thrown down now on the natural, and well, again, a couple of Stalkers here from Jieshi just coming forwards, seeing what's up, but they actually missed the Adepts, which are in the front, and already kind of shading up the ramp, but Jieshi has Stalkers there as well, and actually now he'll force those Adepts to shade away, and that's a nice little pick off there, stops them from doing too much more, though the Stalkers on the map means that this Oracle heading towards the main base could definitely get some damage done. This Oracle heading up towards the upper right-hand side, going to be jumping in towards this main base mineral line in just a few moments, but there is a shield battery and a Phoenix, so actually defensively he's completely fine. Going into another Phoenix here as well, because obviously Trap didn't expect this to be a Stargate at all. He instantly recalls the Oracle to keep it alive. Doesn't look as though he's going to stop with what he was kind of planning to do. He did cancel the Robo facility and build a Twilight Council instead, but he's not going to go in towards Phoenix production of his own, realizing he's already behind here. He's instead going to build the Twilight. Now the Twilight, that means he can go into Blink, or even maybe, I wonder if maybe things are going into a Dark Shrine because there isn't any detection out from Jieshi. It's a possibility. Four Stalkers of Jieshi right now actually get rid of the shield battery at the front, so that goes down as well. Still pushing forwards here, going to see this pylon now under some, well, in a little bit of trouble too. One Stalker gets lifted up, and we are going to be seeing a couple more Stalkers just coming through here. These couple of Adepts are also chasing the Stalkers away, so eventually this is a defense here from Trap. Jieshi has to back away, still building more Phoenix. He can be surprisingly useful in the fights, those Phoenix, when they lift units up and kind of, you know, make things a little bit more favorable. And Stalker gets taken down due to those Adepts able to shade forwards and keep up to date with them, keep up. Oracle is going to come back in towards the main base. Nothing in position immediately, but there is the shield battery, which is, well, it's good, but it doesn't deal with the stasis ward. That actually still catches a lot of workers there. And that's a little bit of a pain. It's moving up in towards the natural Trap. It's starting to get some real damage done here. So Trap moving forwards, is it going to end up getting a few more kills? And we've seen the Phoenix are lifting up to try and defend. Actually, the Phoenix lifting is actually making quite the difference. They're putting out good damage on the units in the sky as well. Shield battery keeping the Phoenix alive too is a really nice touch. And so far, he hasn't lost the Phoenix. Great micro and control out of Jieshi in general here. Very nicely done to defend against Trap's army. And Trap has to back away from this. And, well, you know, he is going to back away into some more kind of tech-heavy upgrades. He has the Blink about to finish up. He has the Forge on the way down, so he will be taking a +1 lead. He will have the ability to be on the map active with Stalkers. At the same time, Jieshi has his own Robo coming up now, so he's going to be able to tech himself in towards the Immortals. You know, the Phoenix are going to be able to still pick off some probes here and there as well, most likely. Maybe even keeping the Stalkers at home. And if you keep Blink Stalkers at home, then they're definitely not getting value out of that Blink upgrade as they would usually look to. So, an interesting scenario here for the moment. And so you are going to be seeing those few Phoenix. They are going to be just now starting to come a little bit further forwards there. Not really finding too much just yet still though. +1 attack coming in on this Forge. And we are going to be having the +1 attack actually coming in from Jieshi too, so it's a little bit behind but not too much. Now Trap will go into his charge follow-up, and as soon as Jieshi gets Twilight Council, he'll probably go straight into a charge upgrade himself, of course. No real reason to go messing around with Blink or anything at this sort of stage of the game. If you don't already have it, you're just not going to find the value from it. And there's very few situations where a later Blink like this is really valid at all and really has, you know, much you can bring into the play. We do just see the few Phoenix coming down to the south side. Again, a few more gates coming up in the main, and again a Chrono Boost on the Forge right now, just getting that +1 up nice and quickly here for Trap. Goes into a Robo as well as the Phoenix going to be pushed away by some Stalkers off to the side here. So Stalkers take a few hits of damage. And it's going to come back around and see what else they can do. Still a pylon out at the front. Templar Archives dropping down from Trap as well. I mean, honestly, Trap's army's starting to look good, but Jieshi starts to take an expansion. So Trap has to think about his own expansion as well, otherwise he will start to fall behind in this game. Obviously, that's not something he really wants to have happen. He has to be a little bit cautious about that then. Just make sure you can very much so keep up with the way this game's going. He actually tries to expand, but the Phoenix catch the probe, so that of course is an annoyance. A few Stalkers blinking forwards, getting one of those Phoenix low again here. And we are going to be seeing the Templar Archives from both sides about to finish up. Still no real aggression as we're going to be seeing Trap does expand down to the kind of the low ground base instead, the one in front of the main. Builds a sort of triangular setup of bases rather than the linear setup, which is fine, honestly. I mean, honestly, it doesn't. For PvP, I feel it makes very little difference. I guess, arguably, this base is a bit easier to push into, especially if you get rid of these rocks. You can push in from 2 angles, maybe even sandwich from this side as well. Whereas this base, it's much harder to push through here, and it's much harder to get down here to push up this way and this way at the same time. So, arguably, it's a bit of a worse position to defend, as we are going to be seeing +2 attack. The Incro boosting currently on this forge for Jieshi. That charge upgrade is about to finish up as well. And that's obviously, again, a big part of this for his own army to be able to kind of take on Traps in the near future, if he wants to try and take Trap on, that is. So a few workers behind Trap, but for the most part, he's got a bit of an army supply lead. Why is he lifting up these units? Huh. Is he trying to just burn some of his energy so you can't get feedback? Is that what the movement here was on the Phoenix? I don't know if it makes sense. Huh. I actually really don't know. If anyone has a suggestion, I'd love to hear it, because it's kind of weird. I mean, my first kind of inkling is like, okay, he's wasting energy so he can't get feedbacked, but there's still one Phoenix that, you know, one of the Phoenix with lower health, or 2 of the Phoenix with lower health actually have more energy on them still, so it wouldn't actually quite do that as shown just here. Actually lifts up one of those High Templar right away. There's those Phoenix are going to come around the top side and move back through the center. That was that couldn't have been better timed. We're just like, well, if that was what he was trying to do, it wouldn't work because of this. Boom, gets feedback. A little bit unfortunate, as we are going to be seeing some Zealots and Archons moving out in towards out over towards the right hand side here. A few High Templar warping in, another couple of Zealots as well, and as this army splits up, it looks as though we're going to have a bit of a fight. Here we go, Zealots charge into each other. Those Archons getting to work already, man. Those Archons do so much here from Jieshi. The Zealots of his opponent absolutely melt. I'm a little bit worried about the Stalkers here from Trap, because they just don't have that much value in a later fight like this when there's Immortals and Archons up. There's a lot of Immortals here which are pushing on through at the moment, and we are going to be seeing those pushing on forwards. I mean, the Immortals are just so powerful, and it looks as though Jieshi is going to be in a very strong position moving forward. So he has reinforcing Zealots as well. So does Trap, but not enough of them, honestly. And now Trap's army is just Stalkers. Stalkers on their own are probably not really going to be able to make this happen. Pushing in here, going to see this pylon will go down. Another couple of High Templar going to warp in, and well, Stalkers will blink and they will get rid of that Warp Prism. Warp Prism goes down. That's the GG. Jieshi picks up the game number 2, and he is going to... Alright, this time it works. I couldn't click on my screen for a moment. That was really weird. Alright, well, to the bottom right-hand side, our purple Protoss player. This is, of course, Trap, who just lost out in that last game. Bit of a surprise again. Trap from Generic Green Wings. He's won championships before. He's not... You know, I guess it's PvP, and, you know, sometimes you lose games, but honestly, it was a very impressive game from Jieshi in the top left. Here's our blue Protoss player here, and he's going to be looking to see what he can do over the next few minutes. Again, what's up from everyone from Loco Stream? Let me know how your day's been. Let me know how you guys are doing. Hope you're all having a great time. Hope you're all enjoying your week. It's really, really warm here in England still. It's like so hot. I can't actually believe how hot it is. It's so crazy. I'm like, I've got my fan on, I've got my window wide open, and I'm still like a little bit too warm at the moment. It's pretty rough, man. It's pretty rough. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about the PvP on Backwater, because it is an interesting map. Backwater always is. For every matchup, you know, games on Backwater look a little bit different than games on I would say, you know, like any other map, because of the fact that that third base becomes so easy to take, and the fourth base and fifth base are very easily taken as well. So, what does that mean for PvP? Well, you can definitely take a couple of, like, you know, you can definitely take a very fast third base here off a very low number of gateways. You always have to be careful in PvP, because you can always lose out. You know, a warp prism can always warp in on the other side of the map. A proxied pylon can still allow for early aggression and even take down the natural expansion. So it's not just a given that this is going to be a longer game, which, you know, you could sometimes sort of expect. But it is, you know, it is a real possibility as we see this probe of Trap just move up in towards this main mineral line and starts to nibble away to just be a little bit of a nuisance here. Just trying to slow things down wherever possible. Swap gate on the way from both players at the moment as we see a couple of Stalkers just on the way out too. No real signs of what tech choices are excuse me. Of what tech choices are going to be coming down. Oh my god. Got something stuck in my throat. No real sign of what tech choices are going to be coming down. That's what I was trying to say, but I took so long to say that now 2 Stargates have been placed, one on each side of the map. Trap will actually build this pylon here. He just wants to make this more like a Terran building, you know, a barracks and its reactor. He's trying to make this a Stargate and its pylon, although it's not actually his own Stargate. But again, Jieshi plays this kind of mind game. He cancels the Stargate and he throws down 2 more gates. So this immediately looks as though he's going to try and be a little bit more aggressive here in the near future. Stargate's going to be finishing up in a moment or two here from Trap. So he's going to stick with the Stargate. He goes Oracle. That's interesting because in Stargate versus Stargate, going Oracle first is such a gamble. But I wonder if, because he scouted it, he just says, well, I know how you like to play. I know you like to cancel your tech. I wonder if this is like the double mind game, where he's like read into the mind game of the cancel from Jieshi. And so he's sort of called, you know, he's kind of called his bluff, and he's just sort of gone for the Oracle anyways. It's like a really interesting sort of setup, as we do see these couple of Adepts are going to be shading back in towards the bottom right-hand side. And we do see this Oracle from Trap moving out in towards the center of the map. A few Stalkers and a Probe here from Jieshi as well. And we do see this Stalker coming in, and will start to deal a little bit of damage as that Oracle flies in towards the upper left-hand side. Stalker continue to do a little bit more here once again, and we do see again some shield batteries coming down from Trap. So a couple of shield batteries coming into play now. Jieshi warps in a few more Stalkers, so again he's definitely looking to attack in the next few moments. One Stalker already going a little bit low. He actually loses a Stalker here as well. A couple of Adepts are going to be shielded up, but it feels as though Yishi's just losing out on his own Stalkers. The shield battery bought a lot of time, and now we see this Oracle even join the fight as well. I don't think Yishi's going to do what he wants to do with this. He did force a cancel on the Nexus, which is something. I don't think this Oracle had to turn back around. 0 kills on it. Maybe, I guess, the shield battery in the mineral line just means it's not worth keeping it on that side of the map. The few Stalkers warp in. Yishi's going to keep on pressing on forwards now. Starts to work his way through this pylon. The shield battery right next to it as well. And as that pylon goes down, the shield battery will take some hits too. We still have to the top side a couple of Oracles looking to see what else they can do. So a couple of Oracles still looking around. We do see a couple of Adepts on Trap going to shade down to the low ground as well. A Sentry on the way out right now from Jieshi. He wants to try and create a bit of a contain here, being able to force field this ramp and stop the Stalkers from coming down. And Trap in response is throwing down a Twilight Council, so we'll see what his idea with this Twilight is going to be. You know, is this going to be a Dark Shrine? Is this going to be a Blink? Those are the two big choices here, I would say, as a Stasis Ward across the map. But no, just out the front of the Natural, actually. It is going to be a Dark Shrine. It makes some sense, because it was Gateways initially, of course, and then I guess he doesn't know what the further tech choice is just yet. That Stargate, or did he scout that? Well, I guess he's going to scout it now. But do you build an Oracle in this scenario? I think after it's been scouted like this, I don't know if you do. In which case, the DTs are obviously much more likely to get a lot done. One negative for Trap is, how does he get a probe across the map to build a proxied pylon? Well, he doesn't. So he has to warp the DTs in at home and walk them across the map, which takes forever. And at that point, he might just be able to, you know, aim to look to kind of use these DTs instead to just push these units at the front away and just to expand, rather than to try and, you know, deal game-ending damage across the map. So DT Shriners continue to come on up here. And we do just have the Phoenix production from Jieshi has started up in that Stargate. So first Phoenix are starting to come on through now. And we are going to be having the, again, the shield battery just coming on into play to kind of just block up this sort of position, stop the Adepts from shading in. Again, Dark Shrine about to finish. It's just a shame there's nothing. Oh, I was going to say, maybe you could warp in here. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. But again, by the time you walk across the map and slow warp in, that's going to be a robo facility finished and an observer well on the way. So compared to what this could be, if this was a proxy pylon, boom, DT's hit now, and what do? You can buy some time. Do you get the observer out? I don't think you do. I think you just die. But in this case, I actually think you have time to get the observer out. So obviously that's great. We do see this DT here is coming in. Is actually starting the sentry. Recall's actually on cooldown because he used the recall a little bit ago. Oh, that's a cute little stasis ward. Well positioned. And there's another stasis ward over here, remember, which might try and catch some units at some point. Trap going to try and jump on this opportunity to kill 4 Stalkers. Oh man, this is going to go so well for him. 1 DT into the natural, 1 into the main. The Observer's going to be here in a moment. And the DT just happy to kind of pick away the depths for the moment. I mean, why not? Not really too much else to kill, but it's still damage being dealt. Again, those Stalkers pop out of their stasis. And with Blink in play as well, Trap jumps on those, and he's going to be able to just continue shutting those Stalkers down and even giving chase all the way up to this top side. Blinking in, that's going to be another couple of Stalkers dying, and well, this went really a little bit tits up here for Jieshi, although he still is the player for the expansion. Trap has to double expand, he feels, to try and keep in this game, so he is going to be double expanding. Yeah, Trap actually has a worker lead as well because of the few workers he killed from the DT here and there, so actually, overall, has really worked out wonders for Trap. I'd say he's ended up in a really good position considering how this, was looking to go until now. Let's see a couple more Stalkers coming back in towards the natural, and, well, Forge on the way up now from Trap. The charge upgrade coming through as well. And again, just going to be seeing the Nexus, 2 Nexus continue to come on up. And again, the Stasis will just continue to come on down. Probes coming into the natural and finally able to mine, and obviously that's something Trap's been looking for so long here. The ability to, really actually just use all of his probes properly. There's a few Phoenix here that will grab some kills. In fact, they can clean out most of this mineral line depending on how fast the response is of Stalkers. We do have Blink, but using it to get in position already. Doesn't quite have a kill. Twilight Cancel will finish up in the main base here of Jieshi in just a few moments. So Twilight finishing up very soon, and as the Twilight finishes, we'll see a charge upgrade starting to come up as well. 2 Oracles come in the left-hand side, and 1, 2, 3 probes go down just like that. Revelation drops on a group of Zealot Stalkers and the Immortal. Even grabs 1 more probe down this left-hand side here. A few Phoenix still sat in the center. Recall's actually coming through, so that's going to be those Oracles saved for the moment. That's cute, man. Just nice play by Trap all the way through this game. It feels as though he always has the answer to everything, Oh, my Oracles are going to be in trouble here. Boom. Already the recall's there. The Phoenix are left hunting for them. Can't find them. Stasis Ward is actually going to be avoided somehow because the depths were already shading. That's so weird. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's actually kind of crazy. They get 1 probe in the main base, but that will be it. The Oracles are back across the map, and once more the Phoenix are out of position. So again, that will be some issues, as we are going to be seeing the charge coming through from Jieshi, but I just don't know. If having been behind on so many workers all game and now going to be behind on workers again now, I just don't know if this is a scenario where he's going to have enough to defend. He's now taking his own 3rd Nexus, and again, he was so much faster on the natural, but Trap's double expansion has just worked wonders for him now, and obviously he's just been producing a lot of probes lately, and he's just been saturating that base. Extra gateways are coming up, and what more does Trap really have to wait for? Well, I guess in fairness, his composition isn't amazing in terms of fighting. There's only Zealot Stalkers. We don't see Immortals, we don't see Archons. I guess that is maybe the biggest issue of all for Trap at the moment. His actual composition isn't amazing to fight with, but we'll see if he can make it work. A few Stalkers blinking around there as the Phoenix coming through, and they will lift up a few of those probes. Nexus setting up on the left-hand side, and we're going to be seeing another gateway coming down here from Trap on the top. 5 more Zealots, 6 more Zealots being warped in. Another couple of Zealots coming through here as well, and again, just going to continue to push on over to the left-hand side. We are going to have this Observer just set up, and we'll see this attack coming through. So interesting that Yishi's going to try and win this with pure gateway units. It's just such a... It's like a PvT build, only it's PvP. It's not something you see every day. Let's see if these 2 Archons and the Immortals can save it. Blink forwards, targets down the Immortals right away. The shield battery is busy healing something else. Eventually the Immortal gets a heal, but it was a little bit too late. Zealots are still around in numbers, and I think with this amount of Zealots, just no real way you really defend this. So Phoenix come through to help out a little bit here. I mean, Probe's already going down. The tech units have already been full, bested. And well, that warp gate is just warping in more Zealots. And at this stage, I think the Zealots alone will get the job done. Charging in, I mean, they have a couple of sentries to back them up still, a couple of Stalkers, that's the GG, and Trap will take the series 2-1, moving himself through